Well, today we're going to do a little something different. Been getting a lot of questions from viewers, so I thought we'd run through the list and answer some of those. First from Converse, Indiana, from Suzette. Boston Ferns, what's the best advice to be successful caring for these? I seem to find big, beautiful hanging Boston Ferns, and they seem to be root bound. So, and can you split them in half? First of all, you can split them in half, although I'm not sure how quickly they would recover. But here's the biggest thing about Bostons. So if you look at these two Boston Ferns here, they look very nice. Well, one of them is from Florida, where a lot of these come from. Well, look how small. They're calling this a 10-inch pot. Well, if that's a 10-inch pot, it's a cheater, all right? So there's your problem. This is one grown locally, and you kind of see the difference in the soil mass. So that's number one. So these can be a really good value. So I would suggest that you repot them. You can either put them in a pot on the ground or even a hanging basket and make your own. But certainly you can split them if you want to have a little fun with them. Fertilize them on a regular basis and you're good. All right, this one's from Jennifer. Do you recommend a soil mix for new raised garden beds to grow vegetable and herbs? And also, can my son get a job at your store? All right, well, we'll work on that one in a minute. But here is, a lot of times I think the soil thing is a bit of a scam. Not a scam, but it's like they make you feel like you need a different soil for everything you do, right? But when it comes to raised beds, this, I think organic. Everyone has shifted to organic because you know what? It's vegetables, it's herbs. So this gives you a nice mix, and Martha Stewart has been using this, although we're not allowed to say her name associated with this product, so forget I said that. But Miracle Grow or Espoma, always look for an organic, and I would say just any raised bed, it has a nice consistency, so not too heavy and not too light like the soilless mix. All right, so the next one is from an unidentified viewer who is probably too embarrassed to ask this. If memory serves me correct, you're not a huge fan of Bacopa and recommend something else. What is that suggestion? All right, first of all, this is Bacopa. It's beautiful. It's kind of a little bit of a sucker's plant because it doesn't really like the heat. So in summer, it's just a green vine. So we try to avoid that because there is so much better items. This one here is called Diamond Frost. You have to kind of keep it in check. But if you want something a little bold, this is the one for you. This is Scaevola, or they'll call it fanflower, I believe. And these just will grow, the stems will go right through the foliage. And it was actually the Garden Writer's Plant of the Year one year, I believe. Also comes in blue and pink, and this is a new variety this year because it's a star. The flowers go all the way around. It's called Star Diva. All right, next up is Melissa from Greencastle. I applied weed killer on April 16th. This is the first time using this product. What should I apply next? Crabgrass control or grass seed? Ooh, that's a loaded question there, Melissa. All right, so you put this down too early. So this is the weed and feed. That really should be going down about right now. Now would be, it's still not too late for that, but since you've already put fertilizer down, I highly recommend just put down a crabgrass pre-emergent around the edges of your lawn where the heat and such right there. And when you use that product, no grass seed where you put that product. Hey, if you have a question you'd like to have answered, send me an email at askpat@wthr.com.